Young Dolph thing, man. So everybody know he was at CIAA. He got his truck shot up. Got like over 100 shots, and then he come out with a diss track called 100 Shots, and they're talking about basically just saying the details of the actual shooting, and you know, kind of giving his theory of what happened or whatever. Some say he's snitching. So, you know, long story short, we seen Young Dolph drop that song, and then my man Black Youngsta end up getting warrant for his arrest and turning himself in along with 2 accomplices in connection to that shooting. You know, I say that the shooting was done from a van that he rented, and Black Youngsta saying he innocent, saying that, you know, somebody stole his van or whatever, and he had nothing to do with it, whatever the case may be. And so, and also, so he post bond. I think it was like 4 or 5 charges so he post bond for $15,000 a piece for each charge. Post that bond. As soon as he gets out, he says, "Young Dolph snitching." That song and according to court filings, what led to the warrant was some of the lyrics to that mixtape that Young Dolph dropped in that actual song 100 Shots, man. So people saying like, "Oh, Young Dolph snitch." And in my day, which I'm not that old, but in my day, that is snitching. Like, that's what they call like dry snitching. When you go on record and you pretty much point the finger and tell what somebody did. But obviously the game is different, you know, that's not frowned upon like that anymore. Young Dolph still riding the wave, he still inexplicably is a hot rap artist or whatever the case may be.
But did he name anyone? Did he name anyone in the song?
I mean, that's another thing. That's why it's called dry snitching, cameraman. So T, like, that's why it's called dry snitching, because you don't necessarily say he such and such did it, but you do. It's like if I say like the guy was wearing a black shirt, gray shorts, and he the one who did the shooting, and you got on a black shirt, gray shorts, you're the only one there. That's snitching.
Yeah, but that's still not saying who did it. Okay, put like this. He told a story that was something that happened to him. I mean, just because he revealed it in great detail, don't mean that it actually
that's snitching.
That did it. Come on. Okay, put like this. If you had a feud with somebody, you had a situation with someone, and that person was friends with another person, I mean, I guess it'll be a coincidence that that vehicle with that person's name on it is the getaway car.
That's dry snitching. Whenever that's like if I see you out and you cheating on your girl, and then I know that you told your wife that you was going to be at church from 3 to 5, and I say, "Hey man, I saw you at 3 o'clock, man. You was at the Sundays with that girl. Who was that girl? That was your sister." And your wife right there. That's dry snitching, because you already knew beforehand. I already knew beforehand that your wife didn't know that information. Yeah, but ain't no buts.
But she's there, and you actually talking to me, so that's what she connected. Well, she even got connected.
That's dry snitching.
How is that?
If you provide
what you just said is dry snitching.
If you provide dots for them to connect, that's dry snitching.
So you saying?
I don't know what hood you from.
Listen, so if
but I know that's dry snitching.
So you saying if somebody shoot at you, they say, "Well, they shot me 100 times, but I had a bulletproof."
First of all, I'm a radio guy. Ain't nobody shooting at me. You understand? So I don't live that life. I don't put myself in that position. I can't rap. I probably rap better than Dolph, throwing it out there. Unless Dolph want to give me a check, then I'm just kidding, man. You know you be rapping and shit, baby. Do your thing. But that's dry. If you provide any dots for the police to connect, that is dry snitching. You have snitched.
But most of these rappers are already dry snitching on themselves.
That's a fact. But that's because, like I said, I grew up in a different era. I grew up in the night. I grew up when '90s was booming. You know, Jay-Z and Outkast, Mace. That's people I listen to. I'm a huge Mace fan. That's off the record. So like, we grew up in a time where you tell a story without telling on yourself and anybody else.
So right now, but like first thing most people do when they do crimes, first thing they go to social media. They go on their Facebook, Instagram. I mean, they plant all the evidence right in front of the cop.
Right. We live in a different world. We live in the social media world. We live in a like we glorify crackheads. Like the biggest stars we got right now, they admitted to like drinking lean and Percocet, Molly, all this shit. Like lean and Percocet and all that is basically over the counter heroin. So we glorify people who being heroin addicts right now. If you can't find lean, like if you really from the, like a lot of people who watch this kind of stuff and listen to music, they not from these areas and environments. People who actually consume like music and they purchase it, people who not a part of this environment, so they don't know that people who drink lean, when you can't find lean or where it's scarce, they go get the heroin. So we live in an era where they glorify drug use, they glorify telling on yourself, being flashy, putting guns. Like I'm from an area where an old Outcast line says, "Don't pull your thing out unless you're gonna bang," which means which could be, it's just a double meaning. It means something else, but it also means don't pull your piece out or your gun out unless you're gonna actually use it. Otherwise, you're just showing off, and that's some bullshit. So we live in that world where we tell on each other, we telling ourselves. But just because we live in that world and it's become the norm, don't mean that shit cool. Dolph dry snitched on that record. It is what it is. If you're gonna shoot somebody's truck up, you probably shouldn't put the rented car in your name, Black Youngsta. So again, you know, who's the fool? So they both kind of like, I mean, if you listen to their music, they both not the brightest, the sharpest tools in the shed. But that's between you and I, nobody else. So it's still snitching.
I guess. If somebody, well, all right, it's dry snitching.
It's snitching, man.
I give it to you.
Snitching is snitching, man. The definition ain't changed. It's just more snitches.
Yeah, but if you had no way for the dots to be connected to you, it wouldn't matter what that person said.
Still,
if he never said your name, they couldn't connect dots to you.
No, don't get me wrong. Black Youngsta should be on the world's dumbest criminals, allegedly, if he did do it. So allegedly, if that is how it went down and you did rent a van and actually have somebody shoot out of it at a crowded event, then allegedly that's a dumbest criminal behavior. But at the same time, that does not let Dolph off the hook of being a snitch. You heard it here first, the kid Jus Black, man. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
But what if, okay, say if he would have died, who would have told his story? And which he didn't.
Because he had here's another story that's floating out there since you said that. They saying that perhaps he shot at himself because he knew he had an armored vehicle, and armored vehicles ain't cheap. So I think he needed that publicity because right after that he goes on stage and performs 100 shots. I mean he goes on stage and performs 100 shots soon. He went on stage that night after his truck got shut up, SUV got shot up, and performed his diss on Yo Gotti. So it could have been just like some publicity shit, because that's what the young rappers doing now, a lot of publicity shit. And you know, allegedly again, so because I don't know these people, man. So shout out to Young Dolph. If that ain't what happened, man, my bad.
Well, now that you say that, that could make sense.
Yeah, so
you know, he could flip it around on them and shoot up his own vehicle.
That's just what I heard. Allegedly.
He had a bulletproof.
Allegedly. That's just what I heard. Allegedly. You know, it could just be some publicity shit. You know, like the hood, the trap version of Lemonade, of Beyonce's Lemonade. You know, 100 shots. That's the trap version of Lemonade.